What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are doing yet another request video today. Today we've got 22 different requests. I have set the limit to 2 requests per person per day. If you did request more than 2, just know that I've only noted the first 2 of your requests. So going forward, if you do have more requests, you want to roll the dice and see if I take interest in the 3rd or 4th, and maybe I talk about them, go for it. But whatever order you request, I will do the first 2 requests. That's kind of the standard for it. So if you request 4 coins or 2 coins and 2 stocks, I'm just going to do the first 2 that are requested per person per day. You know what I mean? And even at that, we still got 22 altcoins that we're talking about in this video. So anyways, let's get on with this. Here's the list. Here's the order that we're going over it in. So if you want to know what coin I'm talking about, just based off this list, kind of reference that throughout the video. Anyways, talking about Biff, Bonk with Hat for the Unleavened Baptist. Games for a Living for Elijah went up. ASTR and Boba for Flower Child. Lunacy for Mr. Eggroll Man. AST for Eric Silva. CLV and Mobile for Haterside. YFI for Chad Shee. TRB for C-Zar is Good Guy. OP for Wakaratar. Sushi Swap for Bryant James. KREDO and OK for Betas. BSV for Victor Marshenko. SYN for Mr. Question. Kazuma for Matt Mac. Matt, I hope you're watching this one, man. Kazuma for Matt Mac. FIL for World Travel Ventures. Bozo for Jules Hates Jiu-Jitsu. She doesn't like it, man. Or he, I don't know. Zeta for C-Zar is Good Guy again. And then FTM for Guy Play and PRAI for Chad Shee yet again. And with that, guys, let's get into this. That's the list. 22 coins, at least if I counted properly. And we're gonna go ahead and breeze through this. So yeah, the Unleavened Baptist had me talk about this last night. And if we're looking at it, it looks like it's been growing. But if we look at it on the daily, yesterday when I talked about it, it was not at 155%. So good call on that one, man. I definitely know I was calling for it to go down, but it's kind of relatively gone up in that time. But looks like it actually broke out. Yeah, yesterday that's what it was, right? It looked like this. It had this triangle look, like literally like that. And all this is new. All this stuff is new. So anyways, 155% to the upside. Good job. Might go higher, probably goes higher at some point. That's decent volume relative to this chart. You could pull back initially, pull back to the area that you broke out, retest that as support, and then continue higher. Being at the 1414, the 1272 area, going back to your 886 or 100 level, it's a very common thing to do. So don't be surprised if you do that. But I will say it kind of looks like you're holding this trajectory rather well. So maybe you don't. Maybe you do the less common and hold the black pit of nothingness here, and then go up from there. I don't know. Let's look at the shorter term time frames to kind of get maybe a better assumption on this. 15-minute looks like it wants to go down, but that can change in a very short amount of time, right? It's the 15-minute. The hourly does look very bullish and resilient. Let's look at the 2-hour real quick. The 2-hour looks fine as well. So, you really could, as long as you're closing above this 1272 on like a 2-hour or higher time frame. I don't see why you can't just move up from here. That could be support, solid support, and you continue to move up higher. But it is common, again, when seeing these extended zones, even going up here, to pull back to your 886, 100 level, even lower, but I would look for that personally with how strong of a move this is. But yeah, man, anything with Hat seems to be pumping. I know Pepe with Hat was doing well, but that's not on the request list. We're not going to talk about that, but you can check it out yourself. But yeah, look, Baby Whiff right here, 213%. It's 8 hours old, so that's not really saying much, right? Maybe it came out at 0.0 to like the 11th one person bought it and had the first request like 209,000% higher than that. I don't know. That kind of stuff, don't let it excite you. Nobody made money on that. No way anybody cashed out that big on it so far, if it's only 8 hours old. Anyways, that's Biff. That's BIF. Looks like it wants to go higher from here. it could pull back first. Don't be thrown off if it does that. As far as where it pulls back, that's a hard question to answer, because you absolutely could maintain this trajectory that you have on your ascending trend line here, however it looks. You absolutely could pull back to your highs that you just broke out from and then move up higher. There's a whole list of things. Let's actually see if you were to take this low to high, because we know that's your 886 100 area there. Look, that's also at your 382. It really wouldn't be crazy to move back there, but you don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. As long as you're holding this area, if you don't close too far below that, I would say you probably are looking for immediate upside. So, but the 15-minute does look like it wants to go lower, so I would think that you do break this area on somewhat like significant time frames for the length of existence that this thing has been alive. It hasn't been around for too long. It's been around for like a week, like a week and a half, not even. So 15-minute looks like it wants to go down. I would assume that you do pull back, and if you pull back from here and you break this kind of trajectory that you have, I would think that seeing these previous highs is a very strong likelihood. So 0.045, that area is what I'm thinking. Anyways, that's BIF. Let's talk about games for a living, GFAL. Let's see here. MEXC. On the daily RSI doesn't look bad, but I mean it's relatively neutral, and that makes sense. You're showing neutral price. I wouldn't call this an accumulation range. It's a lot smaller of a time frame. This could be a consolidation range. It's more or less the same thing, but consolidation to me implies that it's consolidating within a move to like further that move, if that makes sense. It's like a continuation phrase. Though I mean accumulation is a form of consolidation too, but I digress. Low to high, 1272. You probably do move back to your 382. I would think so. I would think you do. I mean, you're holding support here, but you haven't gotten really significant positive reactions. You keep hugging it. I think you're going to go to like just below 2 cents. That's my genuine opinion. Looking at the daily RSI, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not good. It's not necessarily what I'm looking for. So as long as you're holding this 40 area, I guess you have hope. That 4-hour RSI looks constructive. Potential to go down, but that is some nice divergence you've got there. Will it merit anything good? I don't know, because that divergence has already played out more or less with that move in itself. I'm having a hard time with this one, man. So let's give it an if-then kind of statement. And I do think it's going to move lower, but maybe I'm wrong. If you can get a day to close above 3.73 cents, you're good. You're good to go. If you get a day really to close below this 236, I would say you close below there, we'll see you down at, so that's at about 2.8 cents. We'll see you down at 1.95 cents. That's games for a living. So hopefully that helps. Until then, you are range bound, but you've hit 3 times on each of these lines. So very soon you're going to break out. You're going to pick a direction. So look for whichever side you break to. I'm thinking to the downside, and I'm not just saying that because we're already down here. I'm saying that because it looks like you like to hang out below your 50 most of the time on the daily RSI. 4-hour RSI does have a bullish setup that already kind of seems to have been fulfilled. You're hanging below this 50, looking like you could switch back down to the downside, and I think the next time you hit this line, you're going to break it. So anyways, that's my genuine opinion, with some if-then statements there. ASTR USD. Man, you guys, I mean, I kind of like it. There are a few people out there who talk smack on these YouTube comments, man, and they are funny. Like it actually makes me laugh. I know a lot of people say don't pay attention to them, but it's not like I'm like paying attention to them in a bad way. Like it's more of like an entertaining way for me, like genuinely. And I will say the most entertaining bunch of smack talkers out there is the Caspa people. Those people are funny, man. Some of them are just like genuinely funny, and some of them are just not. They're not the brightest brick on the block. We'll just leave it at that. But I don't know what got me thinking about that. That was something that I don't know what got me thinking about that just now. But anyways, low to high. No offense to anybody holding cash, but I'm not dissing all of you. Just some people left me some silly comments today That genuinely made me laugh, man. It's like I really don't know. Like, I don't know where some of these people are coming from. But anyways, low to high here, low to high, below your 236. After getting above it, you came back down to your 382. Weekly RSI was overbought. Now you're not. I would think you're going lower. Yeah, daily RSI looks like you want to go lower. So yeah, at least to your 382 again. Wow, that's pretty weird. I don't know if that's a good one to look at. I don't know if I want that wick. I kind of want this wick instead. Is it like this on, that's on Binance? Is it like this on Kraken? It's not like that on Kraken. See, that's a weird one. So is it like this on crypto? It's not like that on crypto. So I think I stand in the correct side of things whenever I take it from here. This makes more sense, right? For anybody that's not looking, so normally whenever I do fibs, guys, this is a little bit to take note. I'm looking at it on the weekly. So to me right here, this makes sense, right? Low to high, measuring this upward move, it makes sense. This is kind of weird, but whatever. Sometimes it's weird. But if you look at it on the daily, that in itself, that's really weird. It's really weird to, it just looks weird. I don't know how else to describe it. Like to go all the way up, like it's clearly a scam wick. You can just use your seeing eyeballs with that. But this to me looks more like the high of the move. Like if you took this wick out, this whole move, like just act like it's not there. It's a lot more obvious. So anyways, I think we're going to the 382 somewhere around just below 10 cents. Yet just above 9 cents is where I think we're going, if not lower. But you're pretty well developed in this downtrend, so I would think just below 10 cents is the low that you have for ASTR. And until then, that's what you're going to be doing. And then you could talk about moving up. Boba for Flower Child. Looking at it on Kraken, interesting. You do have bearish divergence, so it's not confirmed though. I like the daily. I like the structure. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I want to look at it on another chart, perhaps. Nope, it's the same thing. It's the exact same. Yep, it's just the same. So, decent volume on this move. You're up here. You probably find resistance. You probably pull back. That's okay. You really could pull all the way back to like the base of this line, all the way down to 30 cents. You're at 43 cents now. You could pull a little bit below 30 cents and then move up from there. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just move sideways and then you move up. You know, who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some kind of a pullback from here. If I had to guess, 35 cents to 30 cents is game. So yeah, that's my best opinion on that. Probably does pull back from here. I doubt with this potential double top look you have here, you're already kind of overbought. I doubt you're about to break out and continue. I mean, you could, if you were to break out, you might do something like this where you break out real hard at first and then you pull back to the breakout zone, accumulate for a little bit, and then pump. But something tells me you're going to pull back. Actually, I want to look at the 4 hour, see if we can validate that. It looks like it wants to come down. Yeah, it looks like if we look at this for what it is, right? Kind of looks like you broke this. Oh, come on, TradingView. Like this uptrend that you had. I don't know. Kind of. That's not the straightest line, but I hope you see what I'm going for. I guess you're still technically in it. I don't know. I think it's gonna roll over. Personally, we'll see though. Anyways, that's Boba. 30 to 35 cents is my thoughts on that. Before moving higher, I do think it'll move up higher inevitably. Luna C. I like talking about coins that everybody knows about yet wants to see fail. Like they like the more that it does well, the more they want to hate it essentially. And that's this coin, man, because it was, you know, it's not necessarily a scam. It just had unfortunate circumstances happen to it, which it was exploited. That's what it was. It was exploited, man. It was a straight Ponzi. And coins like this, people hate to see them pump, so that's all the more reason to see it pump. Top to bottom here, it's not a bad look, honestly. 618 hit a couple times. I like it. I think, you know, you could hold this 50 area at 30177. You might pull back to 30133. Either way is fine, you know, but you very well could hold this area. Let's look at the daily. Weekly looks like it's just getting started. Daily looks like it could take a break for a second, but not too much. It's not like it needs too much. You have a nice little established uptrend here as well. You know, you could pull back, find support on this. I didn't draw it properly, but something like that's a little bit more appropriate. But something like that, and then move higher. That absolutely could happen. And then maybe on that move higher, whenever you come down and then you move up again, you get some more bearish divergence, but you're up here at the 786. You pull back, correct a little bit, consolidate around on top of your 618 instead of below it, and then you get ready for the real move. Just a thought. Just a thought. Let's look and see if we can find it on something else. Lunacy. Is it available? No, I guess not. Anyways, that's my thoughts on Lunacy. It probably does pull back from here. Just a little bit though. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. If I really had to guess, I mean, yeah, 3 zeros, 1 7. That area is probably where you're going to go. Just below it, just above it, whatever. That's Lunacy. AST. Man, I got a buddy named Silva. He's a good guy. He's kind of a weird guy, but I like my weirdos, man. You gotta have weird friends, man. That's how you know you've got a wonderful arrangement of friends there. You need weird friends, man. Top to bottom. $26, $32, looks like you're going there, man. Accumulating kind of right now. Ascending lows with a flat top. That's always a good look, even though it's not really an ascending triangle. It's not a conventional look, but ascending lows and a flat top, I do like it. I think soon, especially with you pressing this 123 moving average, you're going to see 26 to 32 cents really soon. Here you are at about 13 and a half cents. It's just a matter of when. I do like the RSI. I do like the weekly RSI. You've been in a similar kind of position before, but you're actually getting overbought now. I have faith. I do have faith that it's going to happen soon. Being on the weekly chart soon could mean this week. It could mean 4 weeks from now. You know, so it's not that easy to decide when. But ultimately, if you were to move down from here, you're probably not going to break that little trend line you've got going. You know, you'd probably work your way up, and then once you break that 382, that's when you know it's on. So really look for a week to close above that 382 and stay above it, because you've closed above it once, gone below, closed above it once, gone below, closed above it once, gone below, and then again you closed above it, but still the next week you went below it. So get 2 weeks to close above the 382, or even if you're not liking that, get a 1 week to close above 15 cents. Either or would do. Close above 13.55 for 2 weeks, or by the time you do that, you probably are already going to send it. So look for a close above 15 cents. If you can do that, then I think it's on to 26.4 to 32.3 cents. That's AST. Let's talk about CLV now. CLV, Clover Finance. That's right. All right. Let's see. We've got more. That's it. All right. Absolute dumpster fire since its inception. Came about at the end of the bull market, you know, it gets what it gets for coming out at that time, you know, and then accumulation right now, nice accumulation range. I can't talk, man. Bearish divergence presenting itself, higher closing high with dramatically less volume. You know, generally speaking, I would think you go down, but I'm not so sure. There's been a lot of these that look like this and they end up doing well. You could move down from here. I don't know if I would look for a lower low, though. You know, I might look for a higher low still. Generally, this setup, the way it looks, it does almost look like an M. And being that you're in some kind of accumulation range, it really wouldn't be crazy to like accumulate, you know, in this range, however it looks. But I think that you're going to probably hold support here, somewhere around there. Looking at it with my bare eyes there. Let's see. Relative low to high. 618 right there. Couldn't ask for a better picture. 5.6 cents to 5.3 cents. I think you're going there. Looking at the daily, I mean, daily doesn't look half bad, honestly. I think you're going lower, though. The price action tells me you're probably going lower. The RSI looks very resilient, but you're probably going to do something like this where you hold above your oversold zone. You don't get oversold itself, which is a symbol of strength in my opinion. So probably move back to that green line, that 123. Look at you showing respect. Dude, you respect the hell out of that line. That's beautiful. A little bit of disrespect there. Oh, you love that line, man. Oh, yeah. So we'll see you down there. Where is it? As the days go on, you'll be up a little bit. 5.3 cents, man. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Anyways, that's CLV. Mobile. Mobile. Helium Mobile. Let me know in the chat, do you say mobile or mobile? And you're going to have to figure out a way to make it sound like it pronounces, because you can both write mobile, and maybe you're trying to say mobile instead. Okay, there we go. There it is. KuCoin maybe. A little bit of volume. I like that, so we're going to use this. The daily looks fine. Let's draw some lines on your closing basis and on your lows here. Yeah, that looks. You look like you're holding support at key areas. You could go lower first. You really could. You're consolidating on a move up after breaking out here. I think you're going to move higher. You're finding support on previous areas of resistance. You look good. RSI doesn't look bad. It's neutral, but whatever. Same with the 4 hour. I think you're consolidating. So absolutely, you could go lower. You could even go all the way down to like 3.1 cents, 3.13. Oh, I'm sorry, 0.0031 not 3 cents, sorry, or 0.3 cents, but 0.003. Man, I can't talk. You would be moving down to 0.31 cents. Okay, anyways, potentially down there at the lowest, and then whenever you're ready, you're going to break out and move higher. Now, how high are you going to go? Where are you going to go to? That's a good question. Top to bottom here, half a cent, 0.3 to 0.0061, somewhere up there. Look for a move that takes you above 0.004. If you get above there, I'm on a daily basis. You close above there, I'm convinced that it's on to the upside. And really beyond that, you don't even need the fib. You could just look at it for yourself. Like break this structure a little bit. You've kind of got this little channel down. If you break above it, close above it, well, you're probably going to do well. Don't just wick above it like you did here. Actually close above it. So that's mobile. Consolidating until it's not. That's my best guess. The RSI isn't helping on any time frame. It's very neutral. So with that, I would believe you do continue to consolidate for some time until you're ready to break out. I mean, I don't think that you would consolidate for too much longer. I would expect sometime probably before the 25th of March, before the 20th of March, you'd break out of this to the upside. But that's just my opinion. So it's the 6th now. So you could be here for a couple weeks. It's possible. I guess it's the 7th on this chart. It's the 6th for me. YFI and Chad Shee wanted to know my bullish thesis, but I don't really know. I don't know if I understand the question because I felt like I gave that yesterday. But we can go over it in a little bit more depth. YFI itself is another like DeFi kind of. I don't know if it's really DeFi. It might be like not DeFi, centralized finance to a certain degree, but through cryptocurrency. I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm not going to take the time to do a fundamental analysis on it this time, but I mean, looking at it from top to bottom here, minimum target would be all the way up at $227,000, $682,000. You've got the 1886 all the way up here at $1.59 million. I think YFI is going to be the first coin, you guys, in crypto that will break $1 million. I really do think it will. It's worth $9,297 right now. And some people might think, who might not understand market cap valuations or anything like that, like how could it reach $1 million? Bitcoin's not even $1 million. It's not the same thing. For this thing to reach $1 million, it's dramatically easier. I know that sounds weird too, being that $1 million for this thing is essentially a 100x. No. Yes, essentially just over a 100x. Where for Bitcoin, it would be less than a 15x. So I understand how that could seem confusing whenever I say it's a lot easier for this to move up, but the market cap of it compared to the shares versus the price, it's easier for it to grow, if that just makes sense. This comparison would be like to Bitcoin moving from 200 to 20,000, or yeah, something like that. Essentially, it was easier for Bitcoin to move from $200 to $20,000 than it will be for Bitcoin to move from 20,000 to $2 million, if that makes sense. It only gets harder as you go up. So anyways, all I'm trying to say is, for my bullish thesis, man, I think YFI is one of the more kind of legitimate projects. I think it does have some good things going for it. I don't know a whole lot about the fundamentals. I could get into it maybe on another video if I do some research, but I feel like I keep hearing about it a lot. I've heard some bigger accounts talk about it, and I know some people who more or less, like, they've been in crypto like as long as I have, and they seem to like this thing. I haven't really picked their brain on it, but call it a gut feeling, call it going off of other people's opinions, I suppose. But I definitely do think this thing has some potential, and the fact that it held this, like, during the bear cycle, like this is a pretty don't get me wrong, it's significant. Moving from 96,000 all the way down to $4,000. That's a 95% drop. But this is crypto, man. We see those kind of drops happen all the time. Still didn't get to new all-time lows, right? It still held prices relatively high. I definitely think that it has the opportunity to see prices at $1.5 million, $1.6 million, if not at least several hundred thousands of dollars. I don't really know what more you want from me, man. I don't know how to say it. You're still in your accumulation phase. Whenever you break above the 382, that's at about $13,500, it looks like. You break above that, then we could talk about you moving up to about $28,000, $25,900, something like that, and then higher. But for now, you're just consolidating. So looking at the weekly, you're looking strong. You might be breaking out soon. You are flirting with that green line, right? You're right at the 123 moving average. You might be breaking out soon. It really is possible. Daily looks good too. Yeah, the daily don't look bad. So yeah, you might be getting ready to break out any day now, honestly. YFI looks pretty good, being that it's only at I think it's not even at $1 billion, right? Yeah, 311 million. That leaves a lot of room for growth. Like, it really does. So 100x on a 311 million is a 31 billion market cap, $31 billion market cap. The 150x, for example, that'd put it at about 45, 47 billion. Very much achievable. So anyways, there's high potential for this thing, man. If you like, I wonder if they classify themselves as DeFi, but crypto finance. If you like finance tokens, this one could be a good one, honestly. So that's YFI. Let's talk about TRB. Try to breeze through these a little bit. I tried to answer your question, Chachi. I don't know if that was it, man. I feel like I just kind of regurgitated some of the other stuff while stumbling on my words a little bit more. I said regurgitating some of the other stuff. I meant some of the stuff I said from yesterday. I really can't talk today, guys. I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. It's definitely bedtime. Top to bottom here, hit the 1414. You're back at your 886, around your 786. You might be moving up soon. You might be moving lower. Let's look at the weekly. I think you want to move lower. Yes, I do. You want to move lower. So the fact that you're not going to hold support on your 786 with this kind of look, you might be moving back to your 618. You're at $100. We might see greater than a 50% drop from here. I don't like the daily. I am not a fan of the 4-hour, and I don't like the weekly. Now, you have 3 days and 19 hours left in this week. If you can close above the 886, if you can close above about $115, I'll change my mind. But until then, I think you're going below $50, just below $50. That's TRB. OP, optimism. Optimism. Which one has the most history? It must be Coinbase. All right. Okay. I like the weekly RSI. You do have bearish divergence presenting itself, but it's not confirmed until you get a red week. So really, you can just keep growing week after week. Looking like you're in a nice trend up. Definitely looking like you're in a nice trend up. Let's see what's its market cap at. $4.5 billion. You know, that doesn't leave a lot of room for growth, unfortunately. Unless you see this thing go to like $450 billion, you're not going to see 100x in this thing, which is fine. A 20x, maybe. I mean, maybe that'd be the highest. That'd be like around $80 billion. That's like a $90 billion, I think, actually. So that's pretty high. But that would be a 20x from here. So as far as like great growth potential goes, I don't know if this is the one. You never know whenever it could do crazy things and see a multi-hundred billion dollar market cap, but I think there are other things that have a better chance of seeing greater gains personally. I don't like the level of volume. No, I guess it's not bad, is it? Never mind. Sorry, that's not bad volume at all. Anyways. I think you want to move higher. I do. I think you want to move higher. Let's see how you do. You could move down immediately, but I doubt you move too much below $3.95. You probably hang around that area, $3.90 to $3.95 if you were to pull back. But you might just be moving up higher right now. But inevitably, I think right now you're working up to that $5.66 to $7.40 area. That's my thoughts on OP. Let's talk about Sushi Swap. Come on, man. Accumulation range, looking like you want to break out. I like the weekly RSI. I like that you're touching that 123. Volume's okay, but I don't like that it's decreasing as you're moving up higher, but whatever. The RSI looks fine. You kind of look like you're getting ready for some kind of a rejection potentially, actually. Looking like you want to move down. Let's just look at this real quick. Yeah. You might move higher first. Watch you move up to like $3, $3.15, something like that. And then maybe I should say 270 to 315, and then you pull back to this high. Then you pull back to where these lows are here, something like that. I bet you do move up higher initially rather immediately. I think you're going to have a nice little pop up. You're at $1.83. Move up to that like 270, $3.15 area, and then pull back. That's my thoughts. If you were to pull back first, it's not going to be by much. So I think Sushi is getting ready to shed this accumulation range. Yeah, that's Sushi Swap. QREDO. You wrote it like that though. Credo. Is it the right one? Let's see. Oh, it's QRDO. Okay, so yeah. It is Credo, but QRDO. Accumulation range, nice double bottom. If we look at it on a daily, I bet it looks even nicer. Not really. It actually looks worse. I mean, it doesn't look worse. It just looks weird, I should say. But nice double bottom. Had the hopes that it would look better like an Adam and Eve, but it looks more like an Adam and Eve on the weekly. Let's get something with volume in here. Gemini, sure. Yeah, there we go. That's good, man. I like that. You're getting ready to move up higher. Top to bottom. Let's see. You want to move up. You're at 5.8 cents right now. You want to move up to 12.1, 18.2, maybe even all the way up to 40 cents itself, man. Like, you're looking like you want to see an explosive move up. I would think so. Probably anywhere really taking the fibs out of the equation, looking at these low points here, these high points here in the immediate term, 1618 area, just above the 100. I would look more at that 1618 area. 18 to 20 cents is where I think you're going. Yeah. Looks good. Looks good, Credo. Rather immediately, too. I think it's going to happen pretty damn soon. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Okay is next. Okay, USD. Okay, cash. Let's see. Not a lot of volume. I hate it already, man. I don't think it's worth it. Stay away. Don't put any significant money in this at all. Don't put any money in it at all. I don't like it. Artificial chart, artificial movements. You will have a horrible time getting in. You will have a horrible time getting out. This is the price here, but if you wanted to put so much as $100 into it, you'd probably be buying 5 to 10% higher, or more than that even. And if you want to sell, you're always going to sell lower than what the actual price says because there's no liquidity. Stay away from stuff like this, guys. It's not worth it. It's not worth looking into, really. Yeah, I don't think so. BSV. Good old fake Toshi himself, man. Let's see. I don't know. I really don't know why people are all hyped on this coin. I get it. I get it. The main reason why probably is because so many people hate on it. But man, oh, I want to hate on it, which probably means it's going to do really well. I think I say that every single time that I talk about it. Maybe I should look at it on a different, maybe just crypto. All-time high to all-time low. Couldn't even hit your 618. That's not normally a good look, so maybe you do pull back to your 382 all the way down at $63. You could hold the 0.5 though. Maybe you're just working your way up. I don't like the weekly RSI. It's not like the worst looking thing, but it does look like bearish divergence. But to be fair, it kind of already played out. I don't know. Let's look at the daily. Daily looks resilient. I think you are. You're working your way up. You could move down first. As low as, I mean, really as low as like $60, but you could move down instead to like 85, 90 area. But I think you want to move higher. You're probably going to go to that 136 to 175 area, 180 area. The highs and lows of this previous consolidation phase. That's my thoughts. Yeah. And then you might consolidate. Right now you're moving up to it, right? You're moving up. You're moving up and down and up and down and up and down. And then once you get here, you're going to move sideways, and then you'll break out, probably much like you did here, but to the reverse effect. So anyways, that's BSV. Looking somewhat all right, honestly. Don't be surprised if it goes down in the immediate term, but I think it has more to grow. Synapse. Look at you. 50% up this week. Nice. Yeah. Don't be surprised if you find resistance here. You kind of are finding resistance here. You're pretty overbought on your weekly. A lot of things look like they're getting to points where they would start to look exhausted. Yeah, that daily RSI isn't too friendly. I mean, prove me wrong. Flip today green. You can prove me wrong by doing that, which might not be hard for you to do, but let's see. If that is the top, I would expect you do move down to about 91 cents. That's my thoughts. 91, 88, somewhere in that area, maybe as low as 80 cents itself. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Synapse. I think you want to move lower. I do. I can be wrong. If I'm wrong and you don't move lower, then you're about to be in the middle of a breakout, and who knows where you go. This is too new of a chart to know. So I kind of think that you do check back one last time, form a dramatically higher low than any of these times that you've been in this area, and then you move up higher. So that's just my personal opinion on that. Kazuma. All right, Matt Mac. We're talking about this one for you, my man. Kazuma. Isn't that right? Isn't it Kazuma? Maybe it's on Dex Screener. Maybe that's why I didn't talk about it then. I thought I talked about it. I thought I found this. Let's see. Hold on. Am I spelling it wrong? It's Kazuna. Kazuna. I wonder if you said Kazuna and I just wrote it down wrong. My bad. Because I was about to say, I thought I talked about this. No. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, see, got the previous TA on there already. 1272 1414 hit. Pulled back to the 886. You want to go higher, man. We'll see you at 7089. That one was easy. Yeah, short and simple. Yeah, absolutely, I think so. So what? You're hot on the RSI on the weekly. You look great, man. Daily looks nice and cooled off. You want to go higher. I think so. You're going to see 70s, 89 or higher in a very short amount of time over the coming, probably by the end of March, if not sometime early April. So that's Kazuna. Very straight and to the point on that one. Nice. Filecoin USD. Looking like it wants to break out, y'all. A lot of these coins are looking like they want to break out, but they're also kind of at phases where they look exhausted a little bit. So I think we might see the market kind of cool off for a little bit, or we might be about to see like a kind of eruption across a lot of things and then cool off afterwards. But I'm more conservative. I'd rather call for consolidation, cooling off, and be surprised by a pump than call for a pump and then really we dump. You know, that's I'd rather get my feelings surprised than get them hurt. So, anyways, weekly RSI looks fine, looks strong. It could come lower first, but I mean it looks fine. Same thing on the price action, right? Like you've got these higher lows, you've got these higher highs. You absolutely could move down and then move up higher. Let's see. Actually, I know I keep going back and forth. Let's see here. Top to bottom, 1414 hit. I like it, dude. Yeah, I like it. You might move up to like 1144 first, and then continue to consolidate around this range. Is my thoughts. I think that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna consolidate. I think you want to move higher first. Maybe not 1144. Maybe move up to 1330 first, and then consolidate anywhere and everywhere between about $8 and $13. Anyways, that's Filecoin. Up more. I think you want to go up more rather immediately. And then Bozo. I don't know if that was the one that you said. It says collective. I don't think that's the one you said. I don't know. We're going to use this one because it's got the most volume. I guess they're the same thing, aren't they? Anyways, consolidating after moving up, you're probably going to break out to the upside, probably. I doubt you're going to do this. It could happen, but I think you're going to consolidate until you're ready to break out of this. You're getting near there, so you probably will get ready to break out soon. Now, where are you going to go? It's a good question. Top to bottom here, I would think 6026 to 6044. That's your target areas. Anywhere in between there. So yeah, that's Bozo. Zeta chain, same thing. You're consolidating. Found support. Literally put a line right there, right off of the daily closing highs from before. You absolutely could work your way down because that was a pretty solid wick. So you could work your way down still, right? And then break out sometime later. It could be later this month, but any day now. I would think within this month of March, like probably before like the 25th or later, you are going to break this downtrend, and you're going to see the next move up of this move, which who knows really how high you're going to go, but if we were to look at it for kind of what it is, let's see, hold on first. First, top to bottom here, 1414 hit. Look at that, 1414. You tipped the 618, literally beautiful. Had a very positive reaction out of it too. $3.34, $4. I want to get this move measured. $1,618, bro, all the way up at $4. Yep, I think you're moving up to $4 soon when you break out of this downtrend. That's Zeta chain. Look for that. That's probably going to happen sooner than later. Sometime this month. Load up. Good time to DCA. Not financial advice. FTM. Phantom. I keep putting that in my mouth. I need to just take it away. I was that kid, man. I always had the pen in my mouth. Always had the chair leaned back in high school. Very fidgety person, man. Very, very fidgety. Top to bottom. And I never smoked cigarettes. I know that that's a common trait between people who smoke cigarettes, but I never smoked cigarettes. I don't drink coffee. I drink alcohol. I've smoked weed before. I used to smoke a lot of weed, actually, but I haven't in quite a while. But anyways, enough about my personal life. Top to bottom here, 1414 hit, bouncing off the 100 area. Weekly bearish divergence. It's not confirmed. You're looking good, breaking out of this accumulation range. You might consolidate for a little bit. Phantom. I think you do. You're probably going to consolidate for a little bit in and around this area. Maybe in and around this area, you know. Maybe both, who knows, but I think you consolidate for a little bit and then you'll move higher. For the time being, I think you want to move lower. Do you go lower than this low? I don't know. If you do, I would doubt that it's too much lower. That low is at about 56 cents, maybe move down to about just below 53 cents, but I really don't think you'd go much lower than that because you need to be breaking back into this range, and I don't think that's going to happen. So 53 cents, just 52.9 cents at the lowest is what I'd give this thing, but really probably you're going to consolidate in this range and then get ready to break out sometime later. It might be this late, it might be later in this month, it might be later in 2 months from now, I don't know, but that's Phantom, looking like you want to consolidate, and rather immediately in the coming days, you look like you want to move down a little bit. So FTM, let's finish this up with PRAI. What was your request for PRAI? You said wrapped ETH, I think, is what you said. Okay. Oh. I like it. I like the structure. There's not a lot of it, but for what it's worth, it looks good for the amount that there is. Looking at the 4 hour, gives us a little more sustenance. Let's look at this volume real quick. Oh my goodness, humongous volume in the beginning relative to this chart. Who knows, that could have been like $5, I don't know. I don't know what the volume is on this thing. I guess actually we do. It was, let's see, right, PRAI, $608,000. Probably most of that came in during that 4 hour candle. Anyways, or at least half of that, a little over half of that. Nice, nice. You could pull back a little lower. You're at about 1.65 cents now. Maybe move down to 1.529 cents and then move higher. I do think you're moving higher. I think what you're doing right now is just a classic thing. You consolidated, you broke out, and now you are finding support on previous areas of resistance, or at least looking to. You'll get that, and then you'll move up. Now the tricky thing is here is you've also got support potential down here. So you could go as low as 1.14 cents, but I'm thinking this 1.45 cent area probably holds. Don't count on that because it absolutely could go all the way down here, but anywhere and everywhere between this range. And then from there, wherever your low is, we'll have a fib extension to base it off of. You'll probably move up a nice little bit, but hard to say. It's really new, so I suppose if I really had to guess, I'm going to take this high to this low and say your next target would be 3 cents when you're ready to move up. First and foremost, of course, probably around 1.4 cents, or I should say 1.45 to 1.14, that area. Yeah, anywhere and everywhere in between. It might be directly on one of these lines, or it might be one in between them, but that's all I got for you guys. So if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. You guys are great. If there was a winner, man, it's probably Bonk with Hat. That's BIF, the first one we talked about. Probably that one. Yeah. Yep. I like YFI too, man. I really do like YFI. I need to do some fundamental analysis on it because I don't know enough about it to like it so much, but call it a funny feeling. Anything with the appeal of going to $1 million in price sounds interesting to me. If it's not even at $10,000, that's over 100x. That would be nice. I like anything that I could genuinely see going to a 100x. But just because I say that doesn't mean I'm going to put money into it. I don't put money into anything until I look at it for myself, like take a fundamental point of view from it. I think technicals matter, man. I really do think they matter. I think you can call a 100x just by looking at the charts, but you can more accurately find it if you apply fundamentals too. Like if you look at something for what it's worth, oh, it's not just a meme. Oh, it's not got like a crazy amount of emissions and mining, minting coins. Most of it's diluted, stuff like that. The original token allocation, a decent bit of it was left for the community, not just the initial like founders and first round investors and stuff like that. Or some's left for the DAO, like whatever. There's a lot of fundamental things and more than that come into play too. Reading like what their mission is and like what their goals are, and a lot of people like to, when they do fundamental analysis, they like to take the goals into consideration. They like to take the promises they have and act like that coin, that project is already that. So whatever you read in the white paper, whatever you read the roadmap as, you look at the end and you're like, this is what it is. And it's like, no. That's not what it is. That's what it promises to be. And a lot of these coins, a lot of cryptos, a lot of stocks too, man. A lot of companies and projects just out there, they have a lot of promises. And that's where the risk comes from, because you're betting your money on those promises coming to fruition. And if they do, you get rewarded. If they don't, so look for promises that seem reasonable or accomplishable in like the near term. It's cool to have promises. The coins that promise the world, they see a good cycle, one cycle, and then when they can't fulfill those promises, nothing gets done. There's no actual progress being made. Those are the coins that just dissipate, and that's most coins. It's most projects, both in crypto and stocks. So again, a lot of people, whenever they do fundamental analysis, I feel like they look at the roadmap and stuff, and they look at like that, and they wrongfully assume that's what it is. And it's like, no, it's what it promises to be, and promises don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. So at least not in my opinion. They can, if there's hype around them and it's their first cycle especially, you can see that promote a lot of gains. But for a long-term hold, that's not the kind of stuff I like to invest in. But yeah, anyways, I probably should look at YFI more. I like BIF for the winner. So good job on Levin Baptist. You earned this one, man. You, especially, even if BIF dumps the hardest from here because it pumped super hard yesterday, you deserve the win, man. You called this yesterday and it went up 150%. Good job. So take care, everybody. That's all I got for you. If you like the video, hit that like button, and I will see you on the next one. And you will see me. Bye-bye.